Hi everyone, welcome to Living Wisdom and Dharma World. Today we're going to continue the recitation of the Diamond Sutra. Before starting, let's start with the benefits of reciting the Diamond Sutra. The Diamond Sutra holds an incredibly special place in Mahayana Buddhism. It's often called the sutra that cuts through illusions like a diamond blade. For centuries, countless practitioners have believed that simply reading, reciting, or copying this sutra plants deep karmic seeds for enlightenment, purifies past negative karma, and brings about both worldly and spiritual benefits. In fact, the Buddha himself, within the sutra, emphasized that even reciting a single verse, even just understanding a single phrase, would generate merit greater than offering treasures, enough to fill countless universes to every Buddha. The benefits, both seen and unseen, ripple outward endlessly. When we talk about the benefits of engaging with the Diamond Sutra, we can point to a few major themes. It purifies karmic obstacles, protecting you from dangers and misfortunes. It sharpens your wisdom, helping you see through illusions. It brings you unexpected support in life, easing your path toward both success and inner peace. And ultimately, it creates the deep causes for you to realize true emptiness, the heart of Buddhist liberation. The simple act of reading or reciting the Diamond Sutra can truly change the course of your life. It clears away karmic darkness, opens channels of blessing, deepens your insight, and sets you firmly on the path toward enlightenment. Whether we look at a billionaire like Li Ka-shing, a beloved celebrity like Andy Lau, or a realized master like Xu Yun, we see that the Diamond Sutra's transformative power is not confined to any one kind of person. It is available to anyone willing to take it into their heart. Even a few minutes a day, even a few verses, can plant seeds of limitless benefit. Let's continue enjoying the Diamond Sutra. Chapter 14. A Mind Without Attachments. At that time, after listening to this sutra, Subhuti had understood its profound meaning and was moved to tears. He said, "What a rare and precious thing it is that you should deliver such a deeply profound teaching. Since the day I attained the eyes of understanding, thanks to the guidance of the Buddha, I have never before heard teachings so deep and wonderful as these. Most honored one, if someone hears this sutra and has pure and clear confidence in it, they will have a profound insight into the truth. Having perceived that profound insight, that person will realize the rarest kind of virtue. Most honored one, that insight into the truth is essentially not insight into the truth, but is what the Buddha calls insight into the truth. Most honored one, having listened to this sutra, I am able to receive and retain it with faith and understanding. This is not difficult for me, but in ages to come in the last 500 years, if there is a person who hears this sutra, who receives and retains it with faith and understanding, then that person will be a rare one, a person of most remarkable achievement. Such a person will be able to awaken pure faith because they have ceased to cherish any arbitrary notions of their own selfhood, other selves, living beings, or a universal self. Why? Because if they continue to hold on to arbitrary conceptions as to their own selfhood, they will be holding on to something that is non-existent. It is the same with all arbitrary conceptions of other selves, living beings, or a universal self. These are all expressions of non-existent things. Buddhas are Buddhas because they have been able to discard all arbitrary conceptions of form and phenomena. They have transcended all perceptions and have penetrated the illusion of all forms. The Buddha replied, "So it is, Subhuti. Most wonderfully blessed will be those beings who, on hearing this sutra, will not tremble, nor be frightened or terrified in any way." And why? The Buddha has taught this sutra as the highest perfection, and what the Buddha teaches as the highest perfection that also the innumerable blessed Buddhas do teach. Therefore is it called the highest perfection. Subhuti, when I talk about the practice of transcendent patience, I do not hold on to any arbitrary conceptions about the phenomena of patience. I merely refer to it as the practice of transcendent patience. And why is that? Because when thousands of lifetimes ago, the Prince of Kalinga severed the flesh from my limbs, and my body, I had no perception of a self, a being, a soul, or a universal self. If I had cherished any of these arbitrary notions at the time my limbs were being torn away, I would have fallen into anger and hatred. I also remember, Subhuti, that during my 500 previous lives I had used life after life to practice patience and to look upon my life humbly, as though I were a saint called upon to suffer humility. Even then my mind was free of arbitrary conceptions of the phenomena, of myself, a being, a soul, or a universal self. Therefore, Subhuti, disciples should leave behind all distinctions of phenomena and awaken the thought of the attainment of supreme enlightenment. A disciple should do this by not allowing their mind to depend upon ideas evoked by the world of the senses, by not allowing their mind to depend upon ideas stirred by sounds, odors, flavors, sensory touch, or any other qualities. The disciple's mind should be kept independent of any thoughts that might arise within it. If the disciple's mind depends upon anything in the sensory realm, it will have no solid foundation in any reality. This is why Buddha teaches that the mind of a disciple should not accept the appearances of things as a basis when exercising charity. Subhuti, as disciples practice compassion and charity for the welfare of all living beings, they should do it without relying on appearances and without attachment. Just as the Buddha declares that form is not form, so he also declares that all living beings are, in fact, not living beings. Chapter 15. The Sutra is a supreme vehicle. Subhuti, if on the one hand, a son or daughter of a good family gives up his or her life in the morning, as many times as there are grains of sand in the Ganges River as an act of generosity, and gives as many again in the afternoon and as many again in the evening, and continues doing so for countless ages. And if, on the other hand, another person listens to this sutra with complete confidence and without contention, that person's happiness will be far greater. But the happiness of one who writes this sutra down, receives, recites, and explains it to others cannot even be compared, it is so great. Subhuti, we can summarize by saying that the merit and virtue of this sutra is inconceivable, incalculable, and boundless. The Buddha has declared this teaching for the benefit of initiates on the path to enlightenment. He has declared it for the benefit of initiates on the path to nirvana. If there is someone capable of receiving, practicing, reciting, and sharing the sutra with others, the Buddha will see and know that person, and he or she will receive immeasurable, incalculable, and boundless merit and virtue. Such a person is known to be carrying the supreme enlightenment attained by the Buddha. Why? Subhuti, if a person is satisfied with lesser teachings than those I present here, if he or she is still caught up in the idea of a self, a person, a living being, or a universal self, then that person would not be able to listen to, receive, recite, or explain this sutra to others. Subhuti, wherever this sutra shall be observed, studied, and explained, that place will become sacred ground to which countless spiritually advanced beings will bring offerings. Such places, however humble they may be, will be revered as though they were famous temples, and countless pilgrims will come there to worship. Such a place is a shrine and should be venerated with formal ceremonies and offerings of flowers and incense. That is the power of this sutra. Chapter 16. Purgation of Bad Karma. Furthermore, Subhuti, if a good man or good woman who accepts, upholds, reads, or recites this sutra is disdained or slandered, if they are despised or insulted, it means that in prior lives they committed evil acts and as a result are now suffering the fruits of their actions. When their prior life's evil acts have finally been dissolved and extinguished, he or she will attain the supreme clarity of the most fulfilled and awakened mind. Subhuti, in ancient times before I met Dipankara Buddha, I had made offerings to and had been attendant of all 84,000 million Buddhas. If someone is able to receive, recite, study, and practice this sutra in a later, more distant age, then the happiness and merit brought about by this virtuous act would be hundreds of thousands of times greater than that which I brought about by my service to the Buddhas in ancient times. In fact, such happiness and merit cannot be conceived or compared with anything, even mathematically. If I were to explain all this in detail now, some people might become suspicious and disbelieving, and their minds may even become disoriented or confused. Subhuti, you should know that the meaning of this sutra is beyond conception and discussion. Likewise, the fruit resulting from receiving and practicing this sutra is beyond conception and discussion. To be continued. Thank you for joining us today for this powerful recitation of the Diamond Sutra. As we've heard, the teachings in this sacred text are profound, not because they give us something to hold on to, but because they help us let go. The Buddha reminds us again and again that the deepest truths are beyond form, beyond names, beyond all fixed ideas, and that even the teachings themselves are like a raft, meant to be used and then released. The merit of even reciting or sharing a few lines of this sutra is said to surpass unimaginable acts of generosity. But ultimately, true merit lies not in accumulation, but in the freedom born of non-attachment, a merit that has no self, no giver, no receiver. So let the words of the Diamond Sutra settle gently in your heart. Reflect on them, carry them with you, and return to them often. Whether you're seeking clarity, peace, or liberation, this sutra is a mirror that shows us our original face, empty, luminous, and free. If you found today's recitation meaningful, please consider liking, sharing, or subscribing to Living Wisdom and Dharma World. May the light of the Dharma continue to guide your path. Until next time, stay grounded, stay present, and keep walking the path of awakening.